Hispanic immigration here since the early 20th century, and in the last 5 years, we've had people from Somalia and Burma join our community. So it's ever-changing over the years, and we've always been an immigrant community. We're now up to about 90,000 people in Greeley proper. Greeley-Evans metropolitan area is about 120,000. We've always done Every Child Ready to Read with those groups, trying to make sure that they understood those principles of early literacy, and that's been very successful for us. So I would say one of our definite successes was with the first American Dream Starts at Your Library grant that allowed us to take about $350 worth of ESL, GED, and citizenship materials and put them in each of the Head Start centers in our county. You have to understand our county is almost 4,000 square miles. So while several of those Head Starts were here in the Greeley-Evans area, several are in outlying agricultural communities where it's even harder for those families to get to public libraries. So the first American Dream program was definitely a success. Sometimes parents didn't use the materials as much as I hoped. Some were comfortable with them, some weren't. And on our visits to parents, our follow-up visits, we would hear repeatedly the same question. Well, this is great, you've brought us citizenship materials, but aren't you going to teach citizenship classes? And over we kept hearing the same question. And so I started realizing that both my success was had a blessing and a curse. You know, it had a two-side. They were happy for the materials, but what they really needed was instruction, to someone to help them work their way through those materials. So when the opportunity came for a second American Dream Starts at Your Library grant, I wrote that grant specifically so that we could hire some instructors to teach citizenship classes. We've barely started those classes. We've only held 2 sessions so far, but so far so good, and I think they will be very successful. The biggest challenges is the literacy level or lack of literacy of the adults that we're seeing. You know, that was some of my naivete that I thought just by getting books into the Head Starts that would help solve the problem. So I learned that some of those parents, yes, they were ready and capable and able to take books that were there and self-study and, you know, achieve what they wanted to achieve. But what I've come to realize is those literacy levels of our more recent immigrant and refugee populations are very low. And so, you know, it's not just a matter of them learning English. Sometimes they still need to learn how to write their name in their primary language, in their native language. So we're dealing with some very, very low literacy levels in this community. We have a very high dropout rate, specifically among our Latino students. The cycle of poverty is very, very strong and very real here. And so trying to break that cycle of poverty is probably my biggest challenge right there. Big picture, well, the immediate picture, obviously, is that we hope that people who attend our classes will become citizens, that they'll go take their naturalization test and interview and get their citizenship. And in fact, one of the women that we saw in the class this morning has a date for her naturalization and citizenship test on November 10th. So we have a very quick, you know, a deadline coming very quickly. That's one of the short. It's both a long-term goal, because if people receive their citizenship and they become citizens, then they have so many more opportunities to participate fully in American life. So that's a long goal, a long-range goal right there, is giving people the opportunity to participate fully.